Well, join us now to discuss this is Mike Neville, former Scotland Yard detective. Mike, thanks very much for joining us. Do you accept that there's a lack of public trust in the police and that they've got a very limited time in order to restore it? Would you support that analysis?
Absolutely. I think Andy Cook's written a very good report here. It's a tragedy. I was very proud to be a Scotland Yard DCI. Scotland Yard was seen as the top, the top policing agency in the world. But it's just crumbled away. If you look at the detection figures, the number of crimes solved has reduced 2/3 in the last less than 10 years. So, 1 out of 25 burglaries are being solved, 1 out of 100 thefts, 6% of rapes, even stranger rapes, which you think with all the DNA and technology they would have. But it's an utter tragedy, but the police, are still focusing on the wrong things. In the report, it says how many officers are black, how many officers are female. The facts of these, I don't think anybody really cares. If you go to hospital, do you care that 89% of nurses are females? You care that you get the right treatment and the right medication. The public just want a good police force, and they're being let down by politically correct nonsense, to be honest.
Mike, I completely agree with that. We've had lots of views coming in, and Jo says, and when we talk about prioritisation, how are you spending the time? She said, the police came round to my house because I fed wild birds with seeds in my garden. After my busybodying neighbour phoned them to report me, I was so shocked they'd wasted all that time coming round to see me. Don't even think it's illegal. Really, police need to get their priorities right. That's just one example. There are many more from our viewers.
I mean, the tragedy is I still meet hard-working and good quality officers who are absolutely dedicated to the task. But I still work with the police. I'm working with the universities. I've offered several police forces a database of images which could solve hundreds of thousands of crimes, just being more savvy about how we use CCTV and things like that. But a lot of them are simply not interested. All the senior officers in post have been promoted during a time where detecting crime was one of the lower priorities on the police. All these woke investigating Twitter things, recruiting people because the colour of the skin or the sex or sexuality, these are things that the public really don't care about. They just want the police to recruit the right people and deliver a good job and solve crime and make them feel safe in their homes and in their towns.
Now, Mike, you seem to be sort of laying the blame on the door of senior police officers in police forces, and that and I've seen in my own area in West Yorkshire sort of a bit of a disconnect between the senior ranks and the people at the chalk face, so to speak. But there is also a feeling among some people that police officers themselves now basically want to go for an easy life and go for the easy things. They'd sooner go and deal with somebody who's been accused of misgendering somebody or maybe even a motorist doing 25 miles an hour in a 20 zone, because it's easier than tackling a dangerous, violent criminal or a burglar. Do you accept that police officers themselves sometimes just go for the easy life?
Well, absolutely, Phil. I did a Freedom of Information Act, which was reported in the media, that 70% of the Metropolitan Police hadn't arrested one person in a year. I had arrested, my best, I think, was 4 in a day. It's just quite incredible. And one of the problems here is the top ranks now are absolutely filled with university graduates, and they have simply recruited their own kind. When I was at Hendon in 1989, at least half the officers had medals on their chest because they were ex-armed forces. Those sort of people are not being recruited into the police. The police need to change the recruiting and sort this out. We need some common sense. You've got university graduates joining who don't think they have to do nights and don't like getting involved in fights. It's just incredible, really. It's a big, big mess, and they've got to sort it out. And the Home Secretary could help by saying this: there are no more diversity targets. There are no more targets that have nothing to do with policing. Your job is to reduce crime and catch criminals, and that's all you're going to be judged on. And that would be a move which would really focus the minds.